Hey everybody, I know this is kind of like basically an out of nowhere video, but that's usually what happens on my channel with my line of work. I work third shift, so long hours. All in all, basically Netflix just dropped season 3, part 2, Bridgerton trailer. And I've already watched it more times than I would like to admit. So I immediately was like, all right, let's get some notes down, get your thoughts and everything, and just give your review of the trailer and the season so far, and to basically my thoughts on things and how I think they might go. Sorry, my bracelet dropped. I'll get it in a second. So, but first things first, before we get into the video, I have not read the book. However, I do have it. I'm going to read it. So, just for now, bear that in mind. Now, on to my thoughts and reviews on the trailer. First off, let me start off with how happy I am of Penelope and Colin being engaged. It is literally their time to shine in happiness, and I adore them both so much. I was literally squealing so much when Colin finally confessed his feelings to her in the carriage, and I was like, that's yay. I was just so happy, and I love the performance by Nicola and Luke. All fantastic. I love them as actor and actress. They're fantastic together. And now on to the rest of this. So I literally love how most of the Bridgertons react in happiness, that even Hyacinth went over to hug her first, and then Violet hugged her. That's probably the most motherly hug Penelope's ever gotten in her life. And it wasn't even from her own mother. So I cannot wait to see that moment of all the hugs that she'll get and finally feel the love that she's probably always wanted to feel from her own family, but sure as heck never got. And the only one who's not happy about it is Eloise. I'll get to Eloise towards the end. It'll be quite a bit. So, okay. On to the next bit. Penelope's mother and sisters can bask in Penelope's love match. And they can shed it. Because they have always basically put Penelope down, insulted her, belittled her for years. And I know what that kind of feels like. I mean, it was nowhere near that extent, but my older siblings did pick on me quite a bit, wouldn't let me play with them. So I at least know the emotional, feelings. I know a glimpse of that. So I understand how Penelope's feeling towards her family. So I get some of that. So, and also they truly believe she would remain a spinster, unmarried to the end of her days. And now she has proved them more wrong than ever. And I cannot wait to see their full reaction to when they receive the news of her engagement. It'll be priceless. And I hope they find out when they read Lady Whistledown. And I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to go from the way the trailer went. And if so, good. I'd rather let them find out that way than have Penelope tell them. I feel like that. I just want to hear her behind the door right before she goes into the breakfast room. And just to hear their reaction and her smiling. Like, hee hee. Now, on to the next bit. Colin and his brothers talking. It was fun to see. I can't wait to see the full thing. I just wonder what the difference is going to be with... You can already tell it's different, but Anthony is going to be kind of... I wouldn't say he's not going to be as much of an ass to Colin the way he was with talking to Colin about being engaged to Marina. But I feel like he still is going to question it, just like he did in the trailer, going, isn't this going kind of fast? But Colin's like, I'm in love with her. I'm happy. I get to be myself with her. I don't have to be what society expects me to be. She loves me. I love her. No one's going to change his mind. And I love that. Also, I love that basically Colin told them that him and Penelope already did the deed. And just Anthony's reaction going swiftly, you mean you've already, and just Benedict, the little cherry on top of the scene was, are you going to duel your own brother? That was awesome. And plus, I like that it's a callback to season 1. Like, just nice. Very nice. Cherry on top. Now, I do have massive worry of how Colin's going to react and handle learning that Penelope's Lady Whistledown. I know it'll be a very intense conversation between them. And possibly even a deeper conversation that basically Penelope will give a full-on confession to why she did what she did with Marina, why she wrote about Eloise. And I mean, I'm pretty sure, yes, Colin will be upset, no different than Eloise is upset. However, in the long run, what she did, she saved all of them from life ruin. Yes, they'll be ruined for a season or 2, but not for the rest of their life. She made sure it wasn't going to be for the rest of their life. But we'll get to that little part of my thoughts later. However, there's one thing I did realize. Colin could be Lord Weaslington. Could be the Lord Whistledown. Lord Whistledown. That would actually be kind of fun to see. Wrote over a page. Oh. Basically, it would be fun to see the words on basically the last scandal sheet of the season, to basically say, yours truly, Lady and Lord Whistledown. That would be so much fun and awesome to hear. Let me know if anyone else would love to see that. Now, I don't know if it will, but just in general, like, just as us as fans, how awesome would that be to see that, or if it was possible. Again, I don't think it will be possible, but hey, let me know if anyone else would be cool if that would have happened. Now, on to Kate and Anthony. I adore them so much. I'm glad they're coming back for the rest of the season. I'm curious if they're going to announce that they're going to be pregnant. I hope they are, because I know they were aiming for that. And I wonder if it's going to be a boy. Anthony will want to name it after his father, maybe Kate's father, kind of like basically fit their names into their first son's name, like a first and middle name kind of scenario. Like Edmund, Kate's father's name, and then Bridgerton. That'd be kind of cool to see if that is true, if they're pregnant. So, but basically, I'm glad that they're coming back, and I would love to see more Kate being kind of taking on the role of Viscountess, of just basically counsel, almost, I wouldn't say motherly advice, but just basically good, honest counsel. We get a glimpse of that, and what we might see to future seasons to come. That's if they do stick around. Like, I know Simon and Daphne were to stick around, but of course, we know what happened there. We don't know if the actor and actress of Kate and Anthony are going to do the same, but if they are, this would be a great way to show how they'll handle being Viscount and Viscountess together over the rest of the household. Again, love Kate and Anthony, and I love the actor and actress. Much love to them. Mwah. Now, buckle up. On to the main issue I have with Eloise. Let me start off by saying I understand why Eloise is upset with Penelope that she did not tell her she was Lady Whistledown. I would be upset too if I find out that my best friend was doing something like that in society and did not tell me. I would be upset. Massively. I just wanted to say that before I say my issues. I don't want anyone to jump down my throat. Please. That's all I ask. You can give your opinions adultly, nicely. Just no massive insulting or harassment. That's all I ask on my channel. Now, let me start off with Eloise being friends with Cresta Culpepper. I'm with Violet. I do not understand this friendship. Because she's messed with Daphne since season 1. And with Penelope. Constantly picking on her, spilling the drink on her. You guys know what I'm talking about. And leading all the way up to season 3, still bullying her. I understand Cresta is under pressure to get married, and by her parents. And however, that gives her no right to be a bully and a bitch. That gives her no freaking right. If she would have basically just not have been that way, she probably would have had a husband by now. Plain and simple. Let's see. And the next issue I have, Eloise could not even keep her mouth shut for an hour, maybe 2. Shortly after Colin told her, hey, I'm trying to help her assist in finding a husband. Just advice, basically being Hitch to her, in a sense. Not as glamorous as Will Smith, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And just, she could not be trusted with it because she opened her mouth. No, Cressida did not tell the secret. So I'll admit, Cressida does get a brownie point for that. But it still went around. It went around. That's how gossip works in society, especially back in those days. They had nothing else to do besides gossip. So Eloise should have known what would happen as soon as she opened her mouth. But she did it anyway. Eloise cannot be trusted with a single secret. She will either spill the tea or use it as a weapon, as she's doing against Penelope, or to put her down the way she did at the end of season 2 in their fight. And her toast in the engagement party in the trailer. Basically signaling to Penelope, you better speak up before I do. And yes, Penelope does need to tell Colin. Because he's going to find out eventually. Even if Eloise wasn't pressuring her and using it as a weapon against her. That's the truth. Colin's going to figure it out. He's a smart... Well, he's not smart when it comes down to his feelings to Penelope. But that's a whole different thing. But he's a smart, decent guy. He managed to figure out what Lord Featherington was doing and scamming people's money. Granted, that was Lady Featherington's whole idea. But all in all, he managed to figure out that the Ruby Mines was a sham, a fraud. He was able to figure that out. And if he's able to figure that out, he'll be able to figure out that Penelope's Lady Whistledown. It's going to happen. So yes, Penelope does need to tell him. Now, Penelope was right about Eloise at the end of season 2. I know I'm probably going to have a lot of people hate me for this. But Eloise had a lot of these great plans, ambitions, but never did anything to make it happen. The Bridgerton family has means, rank, influence. That Eloise's plans and goals could be possible with the right people and university. It just depends on the people that are running it. And the right people they're talking to and willing to invest. And to be okay to have a woman to want to do more than just marry. And I feel like if just Eloise actually made it more vocal about it, to her mother, to Anthony, yes, I feel like they would have been on the fence about it because back then it was nothing more than women on the marriage market, having to get married, continue to lie, and so on and so forth. However, I feel like now with Kate in the picture and being a part of the family, I feel like, yes, if Eloise would tell him, hey, I want to go to university. I want to make something of myself rather than just get married. I know Anthony would be on the fence about it, but I think Kate would be the one to convince him, like, hey, let her pursue her dreams. Let her go for it. Just because Kate's different too. She wasn't like every other woman. So she would be able to know the exact thing to say to Anthony to convince him, hey, let's help her. Let's help her pursue her dreams. Let's see what we could do to make this happen. And, of course, definitely warn Eloise of the hardships she will come across because she is a woman pursuing her particular dreams. And so what made me really just basically ask the question, what held Eloise back from doing her great dreams and ambitions besides the fact that she was a woman? Her family could do anything to possibly make it happen. Then the rest would be up to Eloise to pursue the rest of it. And I feel like Eloise is honestly filled with jealousy that Penelope achieved what Eloise possibly wanted to do, even if Penelope had to do it under a different name, a false name. It just, Eloise honestly cannot stand it. And again, I do love her character, her sense of humor, and I could kind of relate to her a little bit, because when I was a kid, I wanted to do something else rather than just, get married. But at the end of it all, Eloise is kind of a brat. And here's why. Again, don't jump down my throat. Please. Basically, for what Penelope wrote about Eloise in season 2, what else could be done? Yes, Penelope should have told her when the Queen suspected Eloise to be Lady Whistledown. They could have come up with a plan together and, figured out something. Then again, knowing Eloise, she would have tried to convince Penelope to go forward towards the Queen and tell her the truth. Here's where I feel like Penelope was correct. Penelope could have went to her, fessed up. The Queen is not going to take Penelope serious as Lady Whistledown. She will see it as a joke and basically dismiss her while possibly laughing. And so Penelope felt like she did what she had to do in order to protect Eloise and the rest of the Bridgerton family from whatever Queen Charlotte had in mind. Keep going. Yes, I wrote a lot down. That's why I waited for my issues on Eloise at the end. Now, was it the only way to save Eloise and the Bridgerton family from possibly, just being shamed for the rest of their lives, or even banished or imprisoned by the Queen? Do I feel like it was possibly the only way to save Eloise in the long run? Absolutely. Could Penelope have written much worse in the scandal sheet about her? For example, writing about Theo. Yes, it would have been so much worse if he was mentioned. His life could have been at risk with certain people for him reaching far above his station in society in those times, especially in the 1814, if that's the year for season 2. Or possibly Eloise would have had to have married him if people knew they were alone together. And ruining Francesca and Hyacinth's chance of ever getting married. She would have ruined her younger sisters forever. And I feel like Eloise was being selfish in season 2 by her actions and not caring how it would affect the entire family. Not just her. And I just felt like Eloise did not seem to understand that women like Penelope, even Cressida, and anyone else who doesn't have a loving, supportive family to fall back on basically the way Eloise does. But to anyone else like Penelope and Cressida, they don't have that to fall back on. They need a husband to survive on. Security, as Lady Featherington, Penelope's mother, said. That's all they tried to do back then. So, and if they could not find a good husband, they were toast. So, that's the reason why I feel like Eloise was selfish in season 2. Of not caring about what her actions would do. Because imagine if Eloise did not tell Penelope. Well, then again, she never really did. At first. Well, imagine if Penelope found out through street talk that Eloise is going to a print shop and talking to a boy. And the whole town was talking about it. She would have had to write it as Lady Whistledown because everyone else was talking about it. Lady Whistledown was going to have to talk about it too. So it's like, even if Eloise didn't tell her, Penelope was going to find out eventually and have to write it as Lady Whistledown. And if she didn't, people would have questioned it. Alright. Okay, now on to the next. I felt like Penelope did need to save Eloise from Queen Charlotte and herself because she was not... No, Penelope lied to Eloise about why she shouldn't do it, why she should stop going on the hunt. Yes, she lied. That was wrong. All in all, Penelope was trying to give advice to Eloise to be like, hey, don't do this. What if you get caught? She was not listening to her advice. Penelope, and in what Penelope did, writing about Eloise, she protected the younger Bridgerton sisters by what she did. And honestly, I'm glad Penelope did not stop being Lady Whistledown in season 2. Plus, why should she give up being Lady Whistledown for a friend who honestly ignores her? Because I remember in season 1 when Penelope told Eloise that, what if I do care about marriage and finding a husband and my prospects? What if I don't want to be a spinster for the rest of my life? Like, not everyone can be a Bridgerton. And Eloise got so upset with her about it. And it's like, girl, she spoke the truth. Did it hurt? Do you want to remain spinsters together like you promised? Yes. Eloise would probably want that. But Penelope didn't. Her home lifestyle is different from Eloise's. So it's like, I felt like Eloise never truly listened to her. And so at the time, maybe Penelope didn't feel like she would find a husband. So it's like, why on earth would she give Lady Whistledown up for a friend, especially when she thought she would never marry and would have to live on the mercies of her sisters, who are now married. I also feel like what Penelope wrote was the best in the long run for everybody, because she knows how Scandal works. Scandal is basically the phone call game. It goes over and over. It's basically a wheel. One gossip goes, and eventually that the past gossips that ruin their family, it gets forgotten. Or at least it's not as big of a deal. They'll still talk about it, but it's not as shocking. And especially with Marina. Marina had other options and a guided direction, even if it was not the one she wanted. She had it all the same. Marina never should have tried entrapping Colin to a sham and fraud of a marriage just to secure her future, and at the time it was her child, but she had twins. For a position she put herself in. I understand it was for love. She loved George Crane, but she should have known better, especially back then. Where else? Basically, she lied about loving Colin. And at the time, Colin loved Marina. He really did. And even in season 2, he often wondered what would happen if the truth about her didn't come out in Lady Whistledown. But then later on, he realizes he never really truly knew her. She put up this facade so that way he would fall for her and seduce him, all this stuff. However, because of her not caring how it would affect Colin in the long run, it possibly would have changed him for the worst. Don't know how it would have changed him, but I imagine it would have been pretty. He wouldn't have been the same Colin, the sensitive one that Violet described in episode 4. That version of Colin probably would have been gone. And who knows what would have happened to him. And Penelope did not want that for him. She knew he deserved better, along with the Bridgerton family, not to get into that mess. And I feel like she saved them the only way she knew she could save them. Even ruining her own family. That's how much she loves Colin and the Bridgerton family. She literally put them first over her and her own family. That's the reason why I'm on Penelope's side in season 2. Because it's the long run. Yes, it hurts for a time, but then it goes in the past. Lion King phrase. It's like, yes, it still hurts, but it's in the past. Now, the reason why I'm kind of glad she kept, another reason why I'm glad she kept Lady Whistledown at the end of season 2 is that Lady Whistledown was her only income and her only hope to keep on going in society. when she thought no one would ever marry her. Especially after hearing what Colin said about her at the end of season 2. And plus, being Lady Whistledown has been her joy, her passion, her strength, and most of all, as she said in the trailer of season 3, her power. Lady Whistledown technically is power. No different than Gossip Girl or A and Pretty Little Liars. They all have a form of power. And Penelope got it from there, and she certainly wasn't getting it from anywhere else in her life. Lady Whistledown is literally her life's work, plain and simple. So it would be hard to give up. I understand that. Now, will that all change for Colin? I believe, given how much she loves him, Colin will become her joy, her passion, strength, and her life. I am certain of that. I feel like she would give it all up for him. That's how much she loves him. Now, how she would go about dropping being Lady Whistledown, maybe she'll announce it to society. Or maybe she said she won't be posting as much, but she will still be there to reveal a gossip or scandal here and there in society. But we shall see. Netflix, thank you for dropping this trailer, because I know we got 10 more days till part 2 comes out. Oh, there's one more last thing. I want to praise Nicola and Luke for their amazing performance. And Nicola, I don't know if you'll ever see my video, because it's, well, this. But if you do, I think you are amazing, gorgeous, clever, fun, and I don't know how people honestly can be so disgusting about your weight. I think you are gorgeous and beautiful. And to those that are trying to spread hate and all because of your weight, I honestly don't know what to say to those people besides they are disgusting and try to do nothing but spread hate and gain a profit off it. Especially for the woman that wrote that article. But I'm glad some of your fellow cast members are standing up for you, and I'm so happy for that. And you deserve all the love in the world. Alright, again, I know this is quite a long video, and if you're still with me to the very end of this video, I love and appreciate you guys very much. Definitely leave all your comments in the comment section. A few little notes, then I'll take off. So I'm about to go watch Kingdom of the Planet Apes. I wanted to see it right before I left theaters, so that way I can actually hear the movie. And then, I know House of Dragon Season 2 is coming out this month as well. I'm super excited for that. I already know the end result because... Hold on. Because, well... and it's definitely going to be sad in the first episode if I think it's going to go where I think it's going to go. So, I don't know. I'll definitely probably need to have the tissues ready. And then, what else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else coming out this month or in the next few months. I know Kraven the Hunter was supposed to come out in October, but I think it got delayed again. Don't know why. But if they're doing it to fix it and make sure this movie is pretty good and not just a meme movie like Morbius, then okay, good. Do what you gotta do. Just let this be a really good movie. Especially the fact that it's rated R. What else? I know Witcher. Honestly, that's the one thing I'm upset about with... That's one of the many things I am upset about with Netflix is, now again, I know Netflix has been under a lot of writer strike, Stranger Things getting held up, and Shadow and Bones being canceled, even though I think that is a huge mistake, in my opinion. Because I liked season 1, season 2. They could at least do a season 3 to close it. Beginning, middle, end. That's all they can do. One more season of Shadow and Bone. Just a nice farewell. And to see the Six of Crows come together, That's all I wanted. But no, we're not going to get it. So Netflix, thanks a lot on that. Now, as for Richer, again, I'm not going to watch it. No offense to Liam Hemsworth. It's not going to be the same without Henry Cavill. And plus, if I'm accurate, they ran out of source material for The Witcher. So I feel like they should just basically just close that show. No pun intended, but you get my meaning. Trying to think of anything else. No. I got nothing else left on my end. I gotta go let my doggies back in. I'm pretty sure you could probably hear them barking throughout the whole video. Oh. But, yep, I can't wait for Bridgerton Season 3 Part 2 to come out. I'll possibly give a review on my thoughts on the book compared to the season of the show once I'm done reading this. Heck, I might even highlight this, like the differences, and to get another copy so I can have one that's highlighted for review purposes and another one for joy reading purposes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Sorry, my brain scrambled. Oh, goodness. I'm such a dork. I don't care. Well, I hope everyone's doing well. Give lots of love to your fur babies, cats, dogs, horses. And, hey, lots of love to everybody. Thank you for viewing my channel, The Real Deal. And don't forget to follow and subscribe if you still like my channel. Bye.